In my video on to buy or not to buy, I showed you how buying now, before prices go up, helps you qualify for a lower mortgage payment than if you wait. For this video, I want to focus on the mortgage payment and the importance of understanding your monthly budget. Here are the two key questions you need to ask yourself as you begin the home buying and mortgage process. What can you qualify for? And what is your goal or expectation for this payment? Ultimately, the best scenario is that when you find out the answer to these two questions, that the numbers are very close. In other words, I am approved for this monthly payment and am comfortable paying this amount each month. We call this a happy marriage. So let's take a deeper dive. As a mortgage lender, we use a debt-to-income ratio to determine what our clients qualify for in terms of a monthly payment. If you are a wage earner paid hourly, we will use your gross income, meaning before deductions, and use that figure as the starting point. Now, in future videos, I will address how we calculate income for self-employed borrowers. So let's say you get paid every 2 weeks and earn $2,500 per check. We're going to say there was no overtime or commissions. We will tackle those particulars at a later time. We take $2,500 and multiply it by 26 and then divide by 12. Since you get paid every 2 weeks, this means you get a paycheck 26 times per year. That is why the formula is 2,500 times 26 divided by 12, which comes to $5,416 per month. This is our qualifying income that we will use as a starting point to determining your monthly budget. What is next? We take your current monthly obligations, that would be installment debt, car payments, credit cards. Usually we're going to work on the minimum payments with those, and student loan payments. Note that student loan payments are usually added on even if they are deferred. Now, we don't factor in utilities or car insurance, but focus on debts that show up on your credit report. In this example, those total payments come to $450 per month. Your car payment is, say, $300 per month, and your other payments come to $150 per month. Now, at this point, we know what your gross qualifying income is and what your current debts are. Now we're going to do a little math and figure out how much of a budget you have for a house payment. If you rent currently, we do not take that into account because you will not be paying that anymore when you buy your house. However, that is significant for you because your new house payment will likely differ from what your rent payment is. You want to be comfortable with any changes to your housing payment. The next step is to estimate what you can qualify for. Generally, we use a 43% debt-to-income ratio to help determine what you qualify for. This ratio percentage can be higher as there are exceptions, but for argument's sake, we will use 43% as our number. Debt-to-income ratio is simply the percentage of debt you have in relation to your monthly income. The formula is to multiply $5,416, our gross monthly income, times 43%. This figure then comes to $2,328 per month. This number shows us how much we qualify for each month, including our current debts. So then I take the $2,328 and subtract out the $450 in other debt we have, and we have a grand total now that comes to $1,878 per month. So now we understand that we will qualify for a monthly housing payment, including taxes and insurance, of $1,878 per month. How does this help us? So now what we can do is plug in the $1,878 per month payment and calculate what price point that will qualify us for. Now, up to this point, you've probably been able to follow pretty well on your own. The next part requires a little more expertise because we have to factor in interest rates and the term of the loan. In this example, I'm going to keep it simple and just assume we're at a 7% interest rate, and this is amortized over a 30-year fixed rate term. Don't worry, we will cover product terms and amortization, etc. in a future video. So based on these figures, I've calculated that we can qualify for a loan amount of $235,000 with a principal and interest payment of $1,573 per month. I added in $300 per month for an estimated amount for taxes and insurance, which we call PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, for a grand total of $1,863 per month. And earlier I showed you on our monthly budget that $1,878 was our approved amount. So we're underneath that by $15, so we meet the requirement. Understanding your monthly housing payment and your debt to income ratio is an important step in the home buying process. This is just one piece of the puzzle. So in my next video, we're going to tap into Mike's home buying tips. Things that you should do in getting ready to buy a home and the things that you should not do. So please make sure to subscribe and check out my other videos.